So I'm going to teach you the examen. So what is the examen? Now, the examen is it's a method of prayer, and the purpose of which is to seek and find God in all things, and to gain the freedom to allow the Lord's will to be done in your life. It is very simple. It is done at the end of the day. At the end of the day, before you retire to bed, before you sleep, you spend some time, like 5, 10, or 15 minutes in prayer, and to ask yourself, how did I find God today? Where is God most present today? And this kind of prayer was introduced by St Ignatius, although it wasn't entirely new. In fact, it's very basic. I understand some of you are doing this already, but St Ignatius institutionalized this kind of prayer, the examen. Now, it's important to know that it should not be confused with the examination of conscience. No? The examination of conscience, we do it before confession, and it's concerned about our failures and sinfulness, our what you wish to tell the priest during confession. So it's an examination of our sinfulness. The examen or the examination of consciousness. So yung isa conscience, ito consciousness, is an exploration of how God is most present in your life, especially in your day-to-day experiences. So that's why it's being done at the end of the day before you retire, to go back over your day and look back at your experiences and try to find where God is most present. No? So as I said, this is not really something new. In fact, some of you might be doing this already, and it can be done anywhere, but importantly, you should do it in a place where you can be quiet and you can be disposed to prayer. No? Pwede sa kwarto mo, or pwede sa chapel, and it could be done twice a day. Pwedeng midday to examine the morning, and then in the evening to examine the afternoon and the evening experiences, or simply just to end the day. No? Before you sleep, take 10 minutes, 15 minutes, give it exclusively to the Lord, and then go back over your day. And you can do this with a journal. All right? Now, let me introduce the steps of the examen. There are 5 steps of the examen. In order for us to memorize and easily remember the steps, so I have 5 steps, and I classified the steps by the first letters, P, G, G, H, H. P, G, G, H, H. All right? Presence, grace, gratitude, healing, hope. P, G, G, H, H. Presence, grace, gratitude, healing, and hope. So let's start with presence. So you begin your prayer by, of course, disposing yourself to prayer. Allow yourself to be in the presence of the Lord, remembering His presence within you and that His presence around you. It's very important to start the prayer with that. And as you begin the prayer and becoming more aware of God's presence right there as you pray, you find yourself gazing at the Lord, who is also gazing back at you. And then as you do this, you start by becoming true to yourself before the Lord. You come to the Lord as you are. No mask, no pretense, just yourself before the Lord with your authentic feelings before the Lord. So you start the prayer, the examen, with the first part, which is the presence. And the number 2, you move to the stage of grace. You ask the Lord, you beg the Lord for the grace to be able to look back at your day using God's perspective. The way God looks at them, the way God sees them. You see, we all have our own perspectives, our own understandings of our experiences. But when we pray and beg to be able to understand, look at our experiences the way God sees them, it will change everything. In fact, The truth is, we can never exactly have that kind of perspective, God's perspective, because we are limited beings. But if we beg, somehow our horizon widens. We begin to understand better our experiences and widen our understanding. So, Lord, open my eyes and ears that I can be honest with myself, that I can look back at my experiences over this day the way you look at them. And then also you can ask the Lord for a particular grace you wish to have that particular day, Lord. Like, Lord, I want to beg for the grace that I'll be more patient in the next days. No, you can also do that. And then after presence, grace, the next G would be gratitude. Now this time you look back over your day. Start looking back over your day, reviewing your day with gratitude for all the blessings received during the day. Now there are two kinds of doing this. You can do it chronologically, the moment you wake up in the morning, as you remember it during the day, and then in the afternoon, and then in the evening. No, that's one way to do it. Another way is just spontaneously allow the things that come to your mind, because whatever comes to your mind first are the things that moved you during the day. So therefore, those are important to you. So whatever comes to your mind, even in different orders, pick them up and then thank the Lord for them. But my advice is this: be very concrete, no? And let special moments of pleasure spring to your mind. Meaning to say, do not just say, Lord, thank you for this day, thank you for all the blessings received. You can do that every day. That's a very generic prayer. Each day, as you do the examen, it has to be unique. So meaning to say, go back to particular experiences and use your senses. It will help recover the memory. For example, I will say, Lord, thank you for that morning coffee today. It was kind of unique and it made my day somehow. As I prayed this morning, the smell of the coffee I could remember. Or you can say, Lord, thank you for that nice sunset today. It healed my soul and my anxiety. Lord, thank you for that smile brought forth by a kind word by a friend. Or Lord, thank you for that beautiful praise and worship this evening with my household. Or Lord, thank you for the advice or that particular verse I read in the jeepney. Lord, thank you for... Be specific, in other words, for that day. All right? Name them. And as you remember them, use your senses. Your sense of taste, remember the colors, remember the texture, remember the sound, remember how you felt. All right? And then give thanks to God for His presence in all the blessings, knowing that all blessings come from the Lord. Nothing is really ours. Everything comes from the Lord. So in other words, it's in a very simple way of putting it, you just say, look, what am I grateful for today? And then you answer that question. Okay? So that's the second G. So presence, grace, gratitude. And now let's go to the fourth stage, healing. You again go back over your day, and this time you go back over your day and ask yourself, where did you feel God's seeming absence the most? So usually these are experiences of sinfulness, of anger, of resentment, or lack of forgiveness, or areas for healing or discernment. So things that we do not wish to talk to God, we are not prepared to talk to God about, then this is the time to have the courage to present them to God. Areas of sinfulness, areas of discernment, opportunities for growth of self, and you ask yourself, Lord, where are you leading me? What are you inviting me to do in this area? It is also a time to ask the Lord for forgiveness for our sins, no, during the day. So allow the Lord to challenge you. Like if you are to put yourself again in the same situation, how will you react this time in a better way? So it's like reporting to God your sinfulness, your failures, your discouragement, and then try to ask the Lord, Lord, how can I learn from this? How can I be a better person? And so it's really this stage, the healing stage, is really a kind of a stage where you can find yourself growing, no, in intimacy with the Lord. So, in other words, the question here is, today, Lord, what choices have been inadequate responses of your love or to your love? Yeah? So, and then finally, we move to the last stage, which is the last H, hope. So you end your examen by hoping and trusting tomorrow in God's hands. So that you say, Lord, tomorrow is a new day. I'm going to begin a new day. Be with me, O Lord, as I journey with my new day. And I know you'll be with me. You will always be with me no matter what. And whatever challenges I face tomorrow, Lord, I know I can face them because you are with me. So it's like asking the Lord to journey with you tomorrow and surrendering to Him all your undertakings. And it's beautiful, right? Because it gives you much courage to look forward with hope for the coming days. And then you can end your examen with your favorite prayer, like Our Father, Hail Mary, Angel of God, Glory be, or just simply being there with Him, the prayer of presence. Lord, samahan po ninyo ako bukas. Ayan. So again, let me repeat the 5 stages. Presence, grace, gratitude, healing, hope. PGGHH. Very easy. And you can do this every day. Or if you have really short moments because you find yourself very busy and wala kang 15 minutes, hopefully meron, no? Pero kung wala talaga, then you can just ask this question: what am I most grateful for today? And what are my high moments? And then the next set of questions would be this: what are the things that I'm least grateful today? What areas of growth that I need to talk to God? What have been my low moments? So, and then you start talking to God about it. It's also a nice, another version of the examen. Tips. You see that these steps, the PGGHH, are simply steps to guide you. You don't, if you need to dwell on one stage, it's okay, it's all right. And just stay there and allow the Spirit to move you, all right? And over time, as you do this every day, you'll find yourself discovering your own rhythm and style, and it's okay. In fact, that's the way we do it. After a while, you personalize the prayer, and then you find your own rhythm and style. And then you find yourself doing it, and it becomes part of your life. It becomes part of your day, and it becomes part of your person. Ang ganda. In fact, ano ba yung mga fruits ng examen? Maraming fruits ng examen. Number 1, you become more sensitive to God's presence. Parang ano yan parang growing an antenna. And your antenna becomes more sensitive to the signal of the Lord. So when you do this daily, you find yourself in the next days becoming more attuned to God's presence. So kaagad, na-pick up mo na si God kung nasaan si Lord. So, and because of that, you get to understand and know yourself more. And then the more you get to know yourself, the more you find yourself becoming more open to God and to His will, and you become more intimate with God in your relationship. Napakaganda, di ba? So try it, and as I said, no, the fruits of the examen is very life-changing. No, in fact, if I have to say, if I'm to summarize all these fruits of the examen, it's really trying to gain a perspective of God. Because the more you do this and find God in your life, the more you see yourself, others, your reality, your experiences, and even God the way God sees them. Napakaganda, di ba? So, please do this every day, and you'll find yourself gaining these fruits, and in the end, you find yourself becoming closer to God.